Taurus, and welcome to Mountain Medicine Tarot. I'm going to go over with you a little bit because these are some of my first videos. This right here is the spread we're going to do. It is a medicine wheel spread. This mirrors the actual spread that we're going to do. So it's north, south, east, and west, but the east and west are swapped because my camera does that. So let me go over with you a little bit of what we will elaborate on. First thing to know is the east is the beginning card. It's the sunrise placement. So what we're going to do is start in the south because we want to do something more like a 25%, 50%, 3/4 of the way, all the way to a full circle so that when that beginning comes, you are ready. So we're going to start here, kind of go like this, and then open up that way to the beginning of the month. So we'll start with the wolf, which has two aspects to him. One of them is he's howling at the moon, sometimes for no reason, sometimes for a reason. This is the childlike self. This can be a vulnerable place. This can be a victimized place. And this can be a playful trickster type placement. Wolves are some of the only animals that will play with their food. You will hear of coyotes and wolves who will go and just slaughter sheep and run away like they're laughing. So there's two aspects to him. And then we have over here, this is supposed to be west. Like I said, they're switched. This is the bear. This is a feminine energy. Pardon my hand going up there. I have to wake up my computer sometimes to watch myself in the camera. So the west is introspection. It's going into the cave, finding that self, being independent. It's going into that sacred space such as hibernation and then coming out a renewed being. Okay, so going into the self is the west shield. Then we have the north, and the north is very powerful. That is the buffalo. I love the buffalo. This is grandfather energy, very wise, very abundant, and very connected to the other realm. So we have a cross here. These two connected together are the blue road, and we say blue is being spiritual. Blue is smoke. It is the sky. It is the other realm. Okay, and then we have the cross this way, which is the red road, which mountains are red, the dirt is red, you know, seemingly. And so I imagine kind of a mountain range here, a fire in the middle, and smoke going here. So west and east, north and south. Like I said, the grandfather buffalo, very wise, very abundant. I'll go into it more as we get into the cards. And then the east is the beginning. This is the sunrise. And he is ruled by the eagle, who gets his reputation from flying high enough to reach the other realm. So he is a being that soars with, excuse me, soars high up into the sky, so much so that he disappears. And in that moment of disappearance, he is on the other side, and he comes back. He is a red road being, which is a physical place. He is the connector, okay? So he's the beacon of light to connect the two worlds because he is the beginning. He's like, it's like you start here and go around and end here. So he's like the middle ground, okay? So he's the illuminator. He comes back with all this clarity and messages from the other realm. So let's get started with some cards. I'm using a Sacred Path cards made by Jamie Sams. You'll notice that my skin is white. Please do not comment negatively about the fact that I am a white person talking in Native American terminology, okay? Because it is prophesied that the third generation of the White Eyes will come and speak of the red race and will assist the whole, okay? And that is who I am. I am residing in the Western United States. You'll see a lot of Western things here, like the silver and turquoise. That's something I'm very connected to. I'm also very connected to bears. So you'll find that within the readings. So I'm going to concentrate on Taurus. Taurus is one of my personal sister signs. That's very good. Very dependable, very financially stable, very dependable people. What are the messages from the other realm for the Taurus of the zodiac? And I do work with the signs that you'd see on a normal horoscope, such as a newspaper. If you read your horoscope, it would be what you're accustomed to rather than converting to the signs of Native American theology, just to make it a little bit more simple for the public in general readings. What are the messages for Taurus from the other room? Taurus general reading. Okay. Pardon my hand, like I said again, it's going to be popping up there. So I'm going to move that a little bit out of the way. I'm going to start with something in the middle. I'm going to then move to the south, and then to the west, and then we'll go east. Illumination and clarity for Taurus. Illumination and clarity. Oh, you know what? I did not. I'll left turn. That's going to be north. Like I said, these are mirrored. It's a mirror image for me, so bear with me here on this spread. Okay, and then we will go to the east. Okay, so in the center we have the medicine wheel, cycles and movement. That's what we're doing here, is a wheel. So this is, I'll show you the card. This is placing stones around. People would literally walk around in this cycle in order to illuminate on different aspects, which is exactly what we're doing here. So good placement for that. This also means that cycles continue. There's never a real end, okay? That means that, and I love the theology that I had, I watched a tarot card reading from more of a Celtic cross type spread with another wheel type thing, and the reader explained to me that sometimes we get going in this way of life that's like a circle, and we're in the wheel and we're running on top of the wheel trying to stay afloat, and then we get run over, and then we're running over on the top again, and then we're at the bottom getting run over again. And what we need to do, Taurus, is come to the center. Be in the spokes. Don't always be on the outside. You can choose your position at any moment in time, and you can decide which spoke of the wheel will go next. You can change the direction at any time. Just come to the center and decide on what the next step is. Maybe you're stuck in the middle. Maybe you're on a high horse up at the top of the wheel making directions. We will find out. Okay, so next we will go to the south. South is the beginning. Painted face. Interesting. I just had this one in the last reading and it's upside down. So this guy right here, he looks a little dark and scary. He's not. This guy particularly might be getting ready for war. He is painting his face in order to be perceived as something by someone else. So the red stripe might mean a war figure. He's got a eagle feather in his hair, which means that he's prepared for this by earning an eagle feather, okay? But there may be many different types of paint to be used in a specific scenario. We may have someone in the group that paints their face as the wise one. We might have someone painting their face as a younger one, as a feminine one, as a mystic, as a leader. It just depends, and you can choose how you perceive and are perceived by other people. Okay, so we will illuminate on that one, because in the South card, this is a past card. This is where the trust lies. This is where other people perceive you and how you perceive others. Okay, so I feel like there's a little bit of a mask going on. We'll illuminate on that, like I said. From there, we are going to go west. West, we have the Death card. Okay, and in tarot, this is upside down also. In tarot, we know that more so than death, what's important is rebirth. So I feel like there is an ending here, and an ending in the introspective place. Something inside ourselves, maybe what's being perceived by others, maybe how we perceive ourselves, something to do with perceptions, something to do with how we are projecting our image, okay, is coming to a close, and something is going to start. And that was in the upside down position. So maybe this has been a little bit scary. Maybe this has been on our mind for a long time. Okay? And then up north in the, oh, look at that. The north shield in the north position. Love it when that happens. Okay, so this is a position and a symbol for all knowledge and all knowing things. Okay, so the grandfather buffalo is also the token and the, what would you call it? He is the ringleader, the totem. He is the face of the fifth world of peace. So a time of abundance and wisdom and of reaping the benefits. Okay, very powerful card. This is one of the more powerful cards on the deck. Okay, and right in the position he should be. Though he is upside down, everything around the wheel has been upside down. Interesting. So, I'm going to go for the next card, and then I'll illuminate on a couple. Okay, so we have giveaway, release. Cool. Okay, and this is in, I need to take a copy of this and then just switch it so that we can look at it. This is in the Eagle Point, like I said, and look at how she is letting go. Something is being released here. It could be a state of mind. It could be a selfless act. Something is being given away. The story I like with this card is, imagine someone giving you a gift, and you know for a fact that they got it from the dime store, from like the dollar store, and it was 50 cents out of their pocket. You know, how does that make you feel as far as having received that? Versus if I give somebody something off of my table here, all of these things are very dear to me. So if I were to give somebody, this ship was my grandfather's, and I have some British things because I am the third generation of the settlers of the Mormon Church who came across the plains, okay? And I do feel very connected to that, especially reading into these types of things. So if I were to give somebody this ship, this was my grandfather's, you know, regardless of what he considered it, maybe this was something that someone gave him for 50 cents, but he held on to it because that person meant something to him. And then I just so happened to receive it. And if I give that to you, that means something. And that's kind of what this is asking of somebody, is that maybe something is going on. I feel like it's a very selfless thing. Something is being released that's really difficult, okay? So, and this is going into the future. This is what we're leading into July with. So there's a huge ending, maybe something to do with the self, maybe something to do with perceptions of how others perceive you that's ending, and that's going to no longer be so scary and such an issue. So I'd like to illuminate on the self. That's where I like to begin with illumination cards, to go into a little bit deeper of maybe what is being hidden, maybe what is being perceived incorrectly, or maybe what needs to stop being perceived. Maybe somebody's wearing their heart on their sleeve all the time, always painted up to be exactly who they are all the time, and maybe they need to stop doing that and maybe protect their vulnerability. Okay, we'll find out here. Something flipped right here. Sundance. Holy cow. We just had this in the last 2 readings. This is my 3rd reading I've done today, and this has come up on every single one. But Taurus is a sister sign to Aries, and that's the one I started with. So this is, you know, the 2nd reading. The first one was a bust, and that's because of the mirror imaging. Things got totally swapped, and so it wasn't easy to read. So this is a masculine card. This is, the sun is masculine, the moon is feminine, okay? And this is a ritual, a ceremony that's done by men in front of the community, where there's a pole here, there's strings attached to their chest, and they're dancing around in a circle like the sun is a circle, okay? And it's a very meditative thing. They kind of lean back. It's something that could be painful. It's not barbaric or disgusting in any way, so please don't view it like that. But it's something that men are accustomed, and Men are aware that women go through some painful experiences such as periods and childbirth, and this is something that the men do to kind of pay tribute to that. And it's a matter of strength, you know, like how much can you endure? How many circles around can you do in tribute to the sun, to the creator, and to the people of the tribe who are watching, okay? So that is what I'm going to put here as an illumination. So the South card, how others perceive us and how we perceive others. Interesting. Another self-sacrifice card. Sacrifice and sacrifice. Okay, so let's pull a couple more on that position. This one kind of flipped here. Moon Lodge. Oh my gosh. This is the exact opposite of the Sun card, the Moon card. So I would read this as a possible relationship, or maybe something with the male and female side inside of ourselves that are kind of fighting, because this is a very self card, going in the back, the past. Yeah, maybe the childlike self, and I do see the ending here, and so perhaps there's a relationship. Relationship just came to an end, and now we're having to look at who we really are, and the male and female side inside of ourselves, something to that nature, okay? You will know, and I would know if this is a personalized reading, which I do recommend doing, so that we can get to the bottom of some of these things. So I have another card here. Hour of Power, same position as it was in the last reading. Interesting. So this right here is a ritual of joy. Emphasis on the ritual part. So this is a person who is outside dancing in the meadow, and then they realize that at any point in time they can easily become this happy. Okay, so maybe someone has been really looking inside themselves, maybe beating themselves up a little bit because there was some sort of a breakup that went on, and they're trying to really figure themselves out, okay? And I feel like not a dark energy, but there's kind of a melancholy energy to this, like someone's really hiding right now, okay? And so this is what the next step is to, instead of mourning, instead of being, I don't like the word victim, but that is the vibe of this placement in the reading. Okay, there's the two sides of the wolf, the one who plays and the one who cries, because he's the childlike self. So something happened, I think, because of this, and because of the cycle and movement, and these two together. There's a cycle, there's an ending, a rebirth, a selfless act of giveaway. Maybe it was outside of our control, something we didn't really want to happen because of perceptions of you, because of your perception of someone else, and that mask and that issue has just created a issue between the male and female, perhaps of a relationship, and now it's time to kind of move forward. Okay, if you just went through a breakup, there's male and female here, which is strong, which tells me that that relationship was strong. Okay, there was an issue here as far as perception, as far as maybe being too outspoken, maybe being too heart on your sleeve. So this person, it is not to say that things are done forever. There's no absolutes in tarot, and everything can be changed depending on how you react. If the reaction is a ritual of joy, you're dancing around, it's not going to get you down, you're not going to sit here and pretend like you have died, okay, you're going to, which is upside down, so you're kind of, like I said, a melancholy little scenario here, but it's a rebirth, which means really concentrate on the ritual of joy, find the happiness here, understand that not everything is inside of your control, let go of the control aspect, let your arms flow in the air and create every day as a new ritual of joy. Okay? So, interesting. I feel like there's things outside of our control that might be frustrating or might be very saddening. But we will pull a couple other cards. Let me see where we want to go with this. The Shaman Death. Maybe we should eliminate on the Death and Rebirth because that is kind of a big one. I really like that the North card is the North card. He is, however, upside down. So this deck and this book does not illuminate very much on backwards cards, but in tarot, things that are upside down is just kind of the opposite of what they mean right side up. So ignore the pitter patter. My dog is just kind of walking around here with me. Okay, someone said there's an ending in a cycle and a rebirth. Can you please illuminate ancestors on this rebirth and what is to come? What to look forward to maybe to get somebody out of this funk into a new understanding, new introspective placement. Okay. Medicine bundle. Wonderful. Allies. Okay, so in ancient times, people would make these types of things. This is one of those gifts, you know, and you could make this yourself and you could have had this made for you, but it's something similar to this bag, and it was a gift to me. But you put inside of it some of the things that maybe are on this table, okay? Some things that mean a lot to you, some things that maybe you want to give away but haven't yet, and that you want to have with you at all times. This, and it could be talents, it could be skills, it could be people, it can be ideas. You know, like I compared some things here to something that my grandpa had. So I'm putting that in my bundle and I'm going to keep it on my belt. And you don't have to tell anybody about this. I would honestly consider getting yourself a little bundle of a couple stones that remind you of a certain time or remind you of a certain person, and you're just going to carry it with you, not to hang on to the past, but more so to illuminate. If you carry it around on your body all the time, it's more likely that your spirit and your soul are going to open up to those ideas and they're going to illuminate for you because you're carrying it around with intention, okay? It does have a lot to do with friends and support, so keep your friends close. Your enemies closer, as they say. You'll know if that pertains or not. But it has to do with keeping your allies. Maybe your best friends are the people who are in your little bundle and that you want to reach out to them and feel their connection, which is recommended here because this is a big flop. You know what I mean? You're kind of like a fish out of water right now, and that's understandable, totally. So definitely don't beat yourself up about this. I feel like this is not your fault, and I feel like whatever connection there was, we have male and female right next to each other right here, but there's a painted face, if I go the right direction, the painted face right here, self-expression. I can put this sometimes to posting too much on social media, or that is the vibe, like somebody trying to post so much to look a certain way, you know, putting that face on is the aspect of that card. And then on the other side, you know, maybe this is the male, this is the female, maybe vice versa, we don't know. So we have the ritual of joy, which is very important to be doing as you can, and rely on your friends, because look how close these two are. Rely on your friends. Be happy, make yourself happy, and let's keep illuminating on the West, okay? Because the West and the South are the past cards, so we have one that flipped. Change, rites of passage. Whew, I drop it. Ignore that. So, right here, I love this card. The beginning, down low, there's the cradle board, and if you watch some more of my readings, you'll get to know these cards. The cradle board is that which holds the baby on the back of the mother. So he's this guy right here. He's left the baby thing. He's growing up on his path. He's right here in the middle, and then up here is kind of like the death. Okay, so he's right in the middle, and he's getting ready to change. So he's on his little journey right here, and there's ups and there's downs, and there's even, you know, a pathway up here. That's the blue road. See how it turns blue? So this right here is where he would leave his body and then continue. No, that doesn't mean anyone's going to die. That just means we go from baby to steps to steps to steps to hills and ups and downs. So this is just rites of passage. You maybe have heard of this before. You know, it's like earning the eagle feather. It's like becoming a man or becoming a woman. Okay, so just baby steps. Don't try and rush anything. Be in the journey. Be in the cycle. Ignore my hand. And just try to enjoy the space that you are in. Okay, so we're almost there. Let me turn these the right direction here so we can't see them all. Maybe we'll illuminate one more time. I like to do threes. So illuminate one more time, ancestors, on Taurus, going through this hard time. It's obviously a very difficult time. And I do know Taurus, and I hope that's not coming in, but this is very relevant, going through a breakup. So my condolences. I do hope things work out, because what I was going to say earlier was, if there is a true connection here and maybe something happened that's a little hiccup, if you start enjoying life and you start really projecting properly, that, I mean, I don't want to sound harsh. I'm not trying to say, you know, be a proper human. I'm just saying, without trying to impress somebody, you'll be living your true faith and you'll be living your true desires, okay? With your friends, with your cycle that's meant for you, okay? Move in that direction, and this person can come back. And this person can say, oh, wait, I loved that person for so long, and now they're back to who the person I love. Because we can get lost sometimes, you know, in a relationship. You just get lost thinking like, oh, I live for this person, and they are who I want to be with, so this is where I'm going, and I don't need to do nothing else for myself, you know. And that mindset can destroy relationships, absolutely. So you get back to yourself, get back to who you are, get back to your goals and aspirations, and that person could be attracted to you again. We don't know, because tarot is not definitive, okay? So, I'd like to do one more on the inside. Okay. Pipe, very similar to this here. Okay. This is another bag. So, this is more of an intention bag. They have the pipe. They would grab some tobacco, maybe some other herbs like mullein or mugwort, plantain, whatever, okay, and fill it with their bag, maybe with a couple things from their totem bag. Maybe they have both bags at the same time, and their intention is to go out on a cliffside, go be alone, and go smoke this. And that smoke is sacred, okay? And I'm not condoning any specific act. I'm just saying, doing so with intention. When you bring that smoke out, this is why we smudge this little guy right there. I put the sage in there in order to produce smoke, which will bring the ancestors, okay? So like the Blue Lotus spirit, very connected to smoke. So lighting fires that are only big enough for your own warmth and only with the intention of having a fire that you can feel proud of and sit next to, you know, that is powerful. And that can be your intention, you know, to bring forward some new clarity. But the pipe, the overall message is knowing for yourself. So going and meditating is a very big step on that. And this is the perfect position for it to be over here on the west. Because this is inner knowing and inner peace. So it has to do with going off on your own, going off by yourself, understanding your intentions, and finding out your own answers. Okay, kind of the opposite of what we do with tarot. Because with tarot, we want to find answers and we want to know where to go from here and how to proceed. So, we've got a couple of minutes. I'm going to keep these pretty similar in time frame as far as that goes for 30 minutes. So, North Shield and Giveaway, Release, Medicine, Wheel, the Cycles. Okay, so perhaps we'll illuminate on the cycle. That is in the center, so usually I do a cross, similar to the Celtic cross, but more so just to create that cross pattern between the road of physical and the road of spirit. Okay. So over the 7 of cycle, we have victory. Okay, so perhaps this was your idea. To separate, to maybe you're feeling victorious because finally someone sees the truth of how you've been perceived. Maybe you're victorious because this end was your decision, or you have had this end. You have had the ritual of joy. You've been going off on your own with allies and friends. Realize that it's the best thing to do, and you're leaving it behind. You will know. But you feel victorious in what just happened. Or you will be victorious. to move forward, okay? This is, counting coup is very interesting. This is something, going into war, people did not always in ancient times kill one another. They didn't really believe in that and want to do that in ancient times. Instead, they'd take these big sticks and go and tap each other on the shoulder with it. And that told the enemy, I had the option to kill you and I didn't. Okay? Very important. It's graciousness. It's this, you know, release, this giveaway ceremony. It's like, I'm being gracious. I'm deciding not to kill you. Instead, I might take your feather. You know, you earned this feather as a little boy and your grandfather gave it to you and the medicine man was there and you had a ritual and you guys did a ceremony and I'm going to take it and I'm going to take it home and it will be mine. You know, that was more offensive than taking a life. And it was totally like okay to do. You know, a lot of stuff like that was not, they call it keeping face. Keeping face. Your face. You know, so maybe what you did was steal something from somebody and it made you look bad. You know, and maybe it's kind of reflecting negatively on yourself. Or maybe someone looked really bad and you found out and it's victorious for you. You know, it could be good or bad. It could be on one side or the other spectrum. You will know. So leave me comments. Let me know how this is for you. Feel free to pause and rewatch whatever you need to do to illuminate for your own personal story. Okay. Thank you, Taurus, for watching. I will see you next month. If you're here, thank you and blessings.